It all started with what should have been a magical moment, a Phillies home run soaring into the stands, a chance for one lucky fan to snag a once-in-a-lifetime souvenir. But instead of celebration, it turned into chaos. One woman, now infamously dubbed the Phillies Karen, snatched the ball with shocking aggression. Cameras captured every second. The scramble, the stunned crowd, and even the disappointed faces of kids nearby. Within minutes, the clip spread like wildfire. Social media turned a simple foul ball into a viral scandal. And Cheryl, the woman at the center, instantly became public enemy number one. But here's the twist. After weeks of silence, Cheryl is finally speaking out, and her side of the story changes everything. And if you're enjoying these deep dives into viral scandals, please help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can keep bringing you the stories mainstream outlets won't dig into. The moment the ball hit the stands, it was chaos. Dozens of hands reached out, kids jumped up from their seats, and for a split second, it looked like a fun scramble for a keepsake. But then Cheryl lunged in, ripping the ball away in a way that even the surrounding fans recoiled. The cameras zoomed in just in time to catch her triumphant smirk, while the kids next to her sat in stunned silence. That 10-second clip was all it took. Within hours, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram were flooded with replays. People slowed the video down frame by frame, analyzing her every move. Memes popped up, comparing her to villains from movies. Strangers who'd never met her suddenly felt entitled to decide what kind of person she was. But the internet wasn't just laughing at her, it was already sharpening its knives. Once the clip hit trending pages, the internet detectives got to work. People zoomed in on her face, slowed down the footage, and started throwing out names, workplaces, and entire life stories based on nothing but assumptions. And that's when the rumors really took off. The most viral claim? That Cheryl was a teacher at Hamilton schools. Overnight, TikTok edits popped up pairing her face with ominous music and captions like, "This woman teaches your kids." Comment sections filled with calls to expose her, fire her, and humiliate her. She wasn't just Phillies Karen anymore, she was being painted as a dangerous figure who didn't deserve a job, a reputation, or even privacy. And the craziest part? None of it was confirmed. But in the eyes of the internet, facts didn't matter. A target had been chosen, and the mob was hungry. And soon, strangers weren't just mocking Cheryl, they were rewriting her entire life. The deeper the internet dug, the wilder the rumors became. Screenshots started circulating of supposed termination letters, claiming Cheryl had already been fired from her teaching job. TikTok influencers treated the rumors like breaking news, delivering entire videos as if the story were confirmed fact. On Facebook and Reddit, posts spread like wildfire. Phillies Karen fired after viral scandal. But here's the truth. None of it was real. These so-called documents were fakes, designed to feed the mob's appetite for punishment. And yet, for millions of people scrolling, they looked legitimate enough to believe. Overnight, strangers decided Cheryl had lost her career, her credibility, and even her income, all because of a rumor that started online and spiraled out of control. The frenzy was relentless. Commentators began tagging her alleged workplace, demanding accountability for something that had never even happened. For Cheryl, the nightmare was no longer just online, it was seeping into her real life. And the sounds from the Phillies and Major League Baseball only made things worse. As the internet mob grew louder, the organizations at the center of the chaos said nothing. The Phillies didn't release a statement, Major League Baseball kept completely quiet. That silence, instead of calming things down, only poured gasoline on the fire. To fans online, no response looked like guilt. And then came the memo. Hamilton schools released a vague statement. It never mentioned Cheryl by name, but the wording was close enough that people online twisted it into proof she was one of their teachers. Within minutes, TikTok and Twitter exploded with confirmation. To the mob, that single piece of corporate doublespeak was all the validation they needed. Now, it wasn't just strangers mocking a viral video, it was a full-blown witch hunt, backed by what people believed was official evidence. And once mainstream outlets saw the frenzy, they couldn't resist jumping in. And that's when the story went from viral drama to national shame. Once the local frenzy hit boiling point, national media couldn't resist. Outlets like CNN, Fox News, and the New York Post jumped on the story, each framing Cheryl as the face of greed in the stands. Headlines leaned on careful language, words like linked or allegedly connected. But that didn't matter. To anyone reading, it sounded like confirmation. Suddenly, Cheryl wasn't just a local villain, she was a national headline, discussed on sports talk shows, radio panels, and podcasts. Her face was everywhere, plastered across TV screens and social feeds as Phillies Karen. Millions of people who had never seen the original clip now knew her only as the woman who embarrassed the Phillies and supposedly her school district. For Cheryl, escape was impossible. What began as a 10-second clip in the stands had spiraled into an identity she couldn't shake. She was no longer just a woman at a baseball game, she was a cultural punchline. But the truth was about to crack through, and it would flip the story upside down. After days of wild speculation, Hamilton schools finally broke their silence. In a short statement, they made it clear Cheryl had never been their employee, she wasn't a teacher, she had never worked in their classrooms, and all the viral claims were flat out wrong. You'd think that would have ended the chaos, but instead, it only threw gasoline on the conspiracy machine. Online sleuths refused to accept the denial. They insisted the district was covering for her to protect its image. New theories popped up. Maybe she worked under a different name. Maybe she was a contractor. Maybe the schools were hiding the truth to dodge bad PR. Facts didn't matter anymore. Even with an official denial, the mob kept twisting the narrative, determined to keep Cheryl trapped as their villain. And that's when Cheryl herself finally decided she'd had enough and broke her silence. After weeks of silence, Cheryl finally broke. In a Facebook post, she addressed the storm head-on, denying the rumors that had consumed her life. She made it clear, she was never a teacher, never employed by the district, and the internet had gotten it all wrong. But her message went deeper than just correcting the record. Cheryl revealed the toll the lies had taken. She said her reputation had been shredded, her family dragged into chaos, and her own safety put at risk by strangers who thought they knew the truth. Every rumor, every fake headline, every cruel edit had turned her life into a nightmare she never asked for. For the first time, Cheryl's side of the story showed the world not a villain, but a victim, someone caught in the gears of an internet mob that refused to stop. But her post wasn't just a denial. It was the first sign she was preparing to fight back. As Cheryl's post made the rounds, legal experts began to weigh in, and their takes shocked everyone. They argued Cheryl might actually have grounds for a lawsuit, not over the ball itself, but over the avalanche of lies that followed. Think about it. Fake termination letters circulating as if they were real, national outlets amplifying baseless claims, influencers chasing clout by treating rumors as fact. All of that could fall under defamation. Add in the harassment she faced, the emotional toll on her family, and even professional opportunities she claims she lost, and suddenly the case doesn't look far-fetched at all. There's even precedent. Other viral figures who were wrongly targeted have walked away with six-figure settlements. And if Cheryl can prove that the lies about her employment and character caused measurable harm, the same mob that tried to destroy her could end up making her rich. And if she wins, this case won't just be about Cheryl. It could change the way viral mobs and even billion-dollar organizations are held accountable.
Cheryl's story started with a baseball and a 10-second viral clip. But it spiraled into something much bigger, a mob hunt, national headlines, and rumors that nearly destroyed her life. She went from being branded Phillies Karen to being doxxed, humiliated, and harassed by strangers who thought they knew the truth. But when Cheryl finally spoke out, the narrative shifted. She wasn't just a villain in a viral meme, she was a victim of misinformation, and now possibly the plaintiff in a lawsuit that could set a powerful precedent. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing is undeniable. This case is bigger than a foul ball. It's about how a single viral moment can rewrite a person's entire life. And maybe, just maybe, how one victim can fight back. And if you want to stay updated on Cheryl's next moves, along with other viral scandals the mainstream media won't dig into, help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so we can keep uncovering the truth together.